Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Vinicius Oliveira making his return to the UFC against Ricky Simone. Vinicius made his debut a few months ago and got one of the most beautiful knockouts ever, and he did so in the third round of a grueling fight against Bernardo Sopai. And Bernardo was dominating early on, almost had him finished. I thought he was, even if he wasn't finished, he was too discouraged to turn the fight around. And I thought that in round two, but then he turned the fight around even within that round. And then in round three, I think Sapai was just dead because he took the fight on short notice. But for Vinicius to finish the fight in the way he did, brutal flying knee, it was just a picture perfect debut, kind of like Felipe Lima had, if that was his name, the guy that beat Muhammad Naimov a few days ago. Third round finish, short notice. It was just incredible. And Sapai took that fight on shorter notice, but Vinicius also took the fight on short notice. I forget exactly what happened there. But anyway, my pick for the fight is Ricky Simone. I've got him winning, and I'll go with him winning by decision because I think he'll be a little bit scared of the danger coming at him from Vinicius Oliveira, and his best course of action will be slowing the fight down. But Vinicius has been defeated three times. All three are by TKO or knockout. Really, he was knocked out twice, and then there was a doctor stoppage to Christian Quinones. Even though Christian had him hurt, I think right before the stoppage, he still didn't go down. But the other two fights, they were knockouts. One in round three to this guy Ali, and it was a back and forth fight. Each guy had each other badly hurt. Both guys were dropped and whatever. But in round three, he got hit with a clean punch, a counter punch, and that was it. And then this other fight against this guy Adriano, he was knocked out in round one, another clean knockout. So I can't say he's got the worst chin in the world, but I can say it's the worst trade of his on paper, and it's what I'd look to for most of his defeats. And you know what? There's a chance that's just the way he's going to lose, and Ricky Simone could crack his chin. But Ricky Simone is typically much more of a grinder. He's got some TKOs and even a few legit knockouts, like Rafael Sunsal and this other guy he got in the LFA. But he's not such a heavy-handed striker, much more of a grinder. He throws good strikes, sharp hooks, but they're means to an end. He's looking to rip you to the mat. And I think that's what he's going to be looking to do against Vinicius de Oliveira. And I think he's going to be able to do it too. Ricky himself has given me some doubt. His chin has been tested a few times. He was knocked out by Uriah Faber, got him out of there in round one. I don't know how close to losing consciousness Ricky was in that fight, but Uriah had him badly hurt, and he was able to get the stoppage. And in round five, he was stopped by Song Yadong last year in their main event. That was more of a slow, steady beating, and he didn't go unconscious or anything, but he was beaten up and beaten out of the fight in round five. And that's been it for his stoppages. Although he does have a submission loss to Anderson Dos Santos, very good fighter, Anderson. And Anderson actually dropped him before choking him. It was a technical rear naked choke victory, but he had him badly hurt and dropped him like literally 5 seconds before he went unconscious. It was that quick, the finish. But that's another half strike against his chin. And we've seen him hurt in other fights, particularly against Merab Dvalishvili, where he got cracked in round one and sat on his ass, even though he came back to win in the 16th minute of a 15-minute fight. You can believe that. Bullshit. But Ricky Simone, yeah, he's had a lot of momentum. He had a lot of momentum going into that Song Yadong fight, his first main event, especially being the first guy to hand Jack Shore a loss via arm triangle choke. But since then, he's been on a two-fight losing streak. Had that really rough fight with Song Yadong, and then was neutralized by Mario Batista in his last fight. So he needs to bounce back here, and I'm sure he's seen the danger from Vinicius de Oliveira, especially with that highlight, the UFC knockout, although the Contender Series knockout over Victor Madrigal was just as pretty. So I think he's going to be, at the very best, trying to slow this fight down, and at the very worst, just hugging him. I don't know, but I think he's got the ability to do so, and I think he is going to do so. Vinicius has proven to be a better grappler than I guess meets the eye when you look at his record, but he's still up against it against Ricky Simone. And I do think on level one, he's going to be losing the wrestling battle here. He's the much more dangerous guy, though. He's got whatever 90% finish rate or something like that. It's probably pretty close. A lot of finishes for Vinicius de Oliveira, and a lot of them being knockouts. He's got that touch, and he's got that danger deep into the fight, as he showed in his last one. Even if Sapai took the fight on short notice and whatever, that was some killer power down the stretch. And he also got a few other finishes in round two, but as you might imagine, most of them are in round one. And I think here that's what it's going to come down to with him, catching Ricky Simone early, or Ricky Simone catching him and taking him to the ground early. And I'm going with Ricky Simone. I've played Ricky Simone's money line. I will look for the props because I do think he should win by decision, but it's not something I can trust. I'd even be willing to throw something on knockout for Ricky Simone if the odds were long, because again, it's the only way that Vinicius has lost. So that could be interesting. But I'll also look for the props going back the other way, because I'm very sure if Vinicius Oliveira wins this fight by Ricky Simone against Ricky Simone, it's not by decision. I think he's going to be clipping Ricky and knocking him out. So those are the options here, but my prediction is Ricky Simone wins. I've got him winning by decision, and without anything staring at me, I bet on his money line. I bet on his money line at minus 230 fuck or whatever. I can't speak. I don't know. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.